What's up? My name is Rich. You guys asked me about heat transfer vinyl cutters. Well, I got one for you. So this one right here is a plotter styled heat transfer vinyl cutter, 28 inches wide. Basically the same one that I started off with. And it's a very, very affordable price, 400 bucks, unless they bring the price up. But I'm pretty sure they're not. It seems like it's been $400 for a long time now. Let's go ahead and unbox this thing. Golly. Here's our vinyl cutter, 28 inches wide. Well, it's actually longer than 28 inches, but it accepts and cuts a 28-inch wide vinyl. So whether it's heat transfer vinyl or vinyl decal, you can cut up to 28 inches wide. So in comparison to the smaller cutters that's around the same price, this one right here comes in handy if you want to do larger decals, especially decals that goes on boats or decals that goes on cars. 28 inches wide, and however long you want it to go that way, vertically. This is horizontal, at least. That's what I'm thinking. Anyways, let's go ahead and put it on the stand. Okay, so there's a lot of pieces in here. Don't get intimidated. It looks like a lot, but it's pretty easy, I think. It's pretty easy. All right, so I got everything laid out. I'm gonna take a quick look at the manual. You got your CD, you got your blades here. You also have this pen. So what you can do, I'm pretty sure this is a pen. What you can do as well, if you wanted to, you could put a sheet of paper in there, you can draw on there, and it'd be 100% accurate drawing, but really it's more so for like testing, making sure, you know, it's doing what it's supposed to do. You got a serial adapter, you also got a USB adapter, you also got the power cord. You also have this vinyl, pretty sure this is a cover for your vinyl cutter, so that's pretty neat. You don't want it to collect dust when it's not being in use. I've had a few vinyl cutters collect dust because I stopped using it. I think this is also a cover. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not the person to do a proper review. Here we are. Instructions. Vinyl system specialist. You can get this at heatpressnation.com. Link will be down below. So we got our two legs, has rollers on there so you can move it around. That's perfect. I'm still here. All right, I'm back. I got the stand put together. I just had to say that out loud again because everybody knows I can't say the word together. I can't say together, brother, another, mother, none of that. Anyways, this right here, I thought this was a cover or whatever. I think it's a catch can, a catch tray. So whenever you're doing a whole bunch of vinyl at once, it goes into the tray and it just sits in that little area instead of it going all over the floor. So if you're cutting a whole bunch of vinyl and you're not necessarily watching it, it'll catch it. But anyways, I got the stand put together. It really didn't take that long. It took about 20 minutes. So all I have to do now is take this vinyl cutter and put it on top of the stand. Okay, so at the bottom of this, you'll see 4 little pegs right here. And there's 4 little holes on the stand, and you're just gonna place it right into the little holes. And that, my friend, is a vinyl cutter. Plotter style, baby. All right, so I got the software installed, Sign Master Cut. It should be in your email whenever you purchase the cutter. So once you have that set up, it'll also walk you through to getting the driver installed for your cutter and, you know, everything that you need. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. Got that turned on, and now we also need the blade for the actual cutter. And within the manual itself, it literally shows you everything that you need to know. Shows you how to install the blade. Also, it also shows you the different blade types. So it comes with 3 different blades. 45-degree is for standard, thick and reflective vinyl. 30-degree blade is for cutting small text and fine detail. And then the 60-degree blade is for a glitter vinyl, cardboard, things that are thicker. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the 45-degree blade, and we're gonna go ahead and get that onto the cutter. So all I'm gonna do is take my blade holder and my blade, I'm just gonna stick it right in. And once you stick it in, it just automatically goes in. I believe there's a magnet inside that pulls it in. So now you can kind of give it a feel, and you can kind of see if it scrapes your finger or not. And that's where I typically like to have it set. If not, what you do is unscrew this golden part, and then you screw the white part to make it closer. As you can see, I'm pulling it out a lot just to exaggerate how much it comes out. But you pretty much do it like that. So an actual test that you're supposed to do is, if you have a sheet of paper, what you want to do is fold the two, and you can use it against a table and try to cut through the paper. I hate the way it sounds, and see if it just cuts the first side and not cut all the way through to the second side. So basically, it's the same way as whenever you cut vinyl, you want it to cut through the vinyl sheet and not to the carrier sheet. But we can always test it. The way I like to do it is just trial and error. So I like to go ahead and put it in, and you can play around with the settings. On right here, this little digital display, you have the option to either increase the speed or increase the force. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in, and then we're gonna play around and see what numbers works out the best. So over here, I don't know if you can see it on the vinyl cutter. Let's pull it a little closer. I'm gonna unscrew this blade holder and drop it in. All right, now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and load up my heat transfer vinyl. This is Caesar Easy Weed, if you're wondering what kind of heat transfer vinyl it is. So this right here is a 15-inch roll, and the reason why I like the plotter type machines is because I can load up the whole roll. So I can sit here and cut, let it cut for as long as I need it to go. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and put this back here. All right, so this one is actually pretty interesting because even the Graphtec doesn't have this. So typically, if you can see where this little white box is, on other cutters, that's typically where you have to put the roller, and that's where the vinyl has to lay. It has to be in areas where you're able to pinch it down with the roller, as you can see right here. But it's actually the complete opposite with this vinyl cutter, which is very nice. So you can pretty much lay it anywhere except for this area right here, because there's a gap right there. So that's pretty cool. Now, if you want to move this around right here, the blade holder, as you probably saw me move it left and right manually, do not do that. It says do not move the carriage by manual. Sorry. But what you want to do is click offline and then hit the arrows. So you can move that left and right, and then you can move up and down to move the vinyl. And then once you get it to the area that you would like, hit the origin button, and then it's ready to cut. All right, so I'm on the computer now. This is SignMaster Cut. I'm just gonna hit File, New, Document. All right, so right here you see a blank document. It's set to 8.5 by 11, but what we want to do is change that to the actual size of our vinyl. So it's 15 inches wide, and then the height is actually, it's pretty long. So whenever it's this long, you know, you can set it as like 100 inches, or, you know, you could actually set it to the dimensions of whatever size roll that you purchase. Typically, I just like to go for a long range, such as like 50 inches. So this is pretty much mimicking your heat transfer vinyl. All right, now after we have our document size the way we want it to be, this right here is SignMaster Basic. So you're gonna want to have your files already in vector format, so an SVG or Illustrator file. But if you want to be able to vectorize in SignMaster, you're going to want to use SignMaster Pro. But if you already know how to use Illustrator and those types of programs, then you should already know how to make an SVG. But what we're going to do is import it, so we're just going to hit File, Import. I got my SVG, going to paste it right here, and check it out. There's my print design. And now if I go ahead and select it, I can see the actual dimensions that it's going to cut in. So right here it says it's 8.6. I'm going to change that to 12 inches. All right, so now we're looking at about 12 inches. So I'm gonna move that to about right there. And what we can also do is right click on it, ungroup all, and we can do that so that we can individually, you know, see the dimensions of everything else. So that's about 4 inches. This right here is about 4 inches wide. Also 5.4. All right, so once you have your design ready to go, what you're going to want to do is click on this little pen tool up here, and that's gonna bring up our vinyl plotter. The media width, we're going to set that to 15 inches wide, which is the same width as our actual heat transfer vinyl. And right here, we're going to click on mirror. Once we do that, we're going to click on properties, and then we're going to click on connection, and we're going to leave the port type on direct COM port. And right here, we're going to move it on down to USB serial. And then once you're done with that, just hit done. and then hit cut now. All right, and now as you can see, it's cutting, it's doing its thing. All right, so now our vinyl is done cutting. What we're going to do is click on offline and move this on down. And where the top of our design is, we're gonna get our scissors and we're gonna cut it. So here we have our heat transfer vinyl. Looks pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and lower this platen, move it on down. The reason why I do that, because it makes it a little easier to weed once this is a little more warm. Go ahead and peel this off. As you can see, now we have the majority of our design. All right, so there we have it. And as you can see, it's reversed because you're gonna wanna press onto the shirt this way. But check it out. So some areas, such as this right here, it's not exactly straight. So what we could have did was use that other blade, the one that's for more fine text and detail. Right here, same issue. So we could have used the other blade, or we could also lower the speed. It could be going a little too fast. And we could also increase the pressure. It could also not be cutting all the way. So those are 3 variables that we might want to check on, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. All right, so now we're gonna get our t-shirt and we're gonna press this onto a t-shirt. This is a great heat transfer vinyl cutter, practically the same thing that I started off with. It's a great starting point. So, got my t-shirt right here. I'm gonna go ahead and lay that down, give it a quick little pre-press. Gonna take this right here, gonna cut it, get the main text, put it right there in the center. I'm gonna go ahead and press that down. Solid 10 to 15 seconds. While that's going on, I'm gonna cut this. Gonna go ahead and peel that off. Check that out. That's on there. And a lot of people always ask, how long does heat transfer vinyl last? As long as it's done properly, you got a good heat press, and it's pressing it good. I've had heat transfer vinyl literally last the length of the t-shirt, the longevity of the t-shirt. So it should, heat transfer vinyl should practically last on a t-shirt forever. If it's peeling, if it starts to peel or you see some kind of peeling issues, typically that has to do with your heat press. If you have a nice solid heat press and it's on there good, clamped on there, nice heat, nice pressure, it should last forever. All right, so now I got my 2 sleeves. I'm gonna grab a pillow. If you don't have a heat transfer pillow, you could use a piece of cardboard. I've seen people use cardboard. You could also stick like a t-shirt in there. It has to be something flat though. But I'm gonna grab a heat transfer pillow. So now I have a heat transfer pillow. What I'm gonna do is stick it in here. Reason being is it makes the sleeve flat. Because if you press it without the pillow, the seam on the t-shirt, it's not gonna make it flat. It's not gonna press very good. So we can give this a quick pre-press. I'm gonna take this right here, put that right there. Boom. All right, so give that a nice 10-15 seconds, and then we're gonna do this to the other side. Peel this off. Check that out. Same thing for the other side. Gave that quick pre-press. Now I'm gonna lay this right here. Go ahead and press this down. Nice 10-15 seconds, and man, we are on. This is the power of heat transfer vinyl and a heat press. This heat press was like around 400 bucks. That's around 400 bucks, 800 bucks. All right, so that's pretty much it right there. That's pretty much it right there. All right, so check it out. Got 2 sleeves in the front of a t-shirt, man. All right, so there you have it. Nice little t-shirt. You get yourself in for about 800 bucks. If you think 800 bucks is a large investment, man, 800 bucks can literally produce you an unlimited amount of income, because t-shirts is going nowhere. Forget everybody that says it's saturated. It might be a little competitive, but it's here to stay forever. Like literally the same print methods has been around forever. Like what makes you think is going away? So 800 bucks divided by 20 bucks per t-shirt, sell each t-shirt by 20 bucks. 40 t-shirts, you get your money back. But I guarantee you, if you have the ability to sell 40 t-shirts, you have the ability to sell 400. You have the ability to sell 4,000 and beyond. And I'm not just sitting here telling you that because I know how to make t-shirts. It's because I also sell it, and that's what I do for a living. You can check out the rest of my channel. If you have the confidence to build your t-shirt business, then you can do it. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out this vinyl cutter. This vinyl cutter is solid. It's a plotter. I'm gonna post some more links down below to Heat Press Nation, where they have more tutorials on it. If you decide to purchase it, actually just go on over to their channel and look up the vinyl cutter. If you decide to purchase it, they have step-by-step tutorials. And if you're still watching and you haven't purchased any equipment yet, and you've asked me what type of vinyl cutter you should start with, this is definitely the one that you should start with. And I'm not just saying that, because this is practically what I started with. So once again, my name is Rich. Comment, like, subscribe. See you next time.
Hey Hustle Ninja, thanks for watching. Remember, if you want to support the channel and have the chance to win a giveaway to help your clothing brand, be sure to check out onlyninjas.com. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And stay hustling.